Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Checkered Flag Racing Podcast, Season 13, Episode 17. Wayo, we're here. The guy in the bottom left corner of this episode will be with us for about the first half of this show. I feel really bad for it. It was an absolutely heartbreaking ending to the race at the Worldwide Technology Raceway that nobody calls that. They all call it Gateway or St. Louis, whatever you prefer. We'll refer to it as Gateway here. But very, very unfortunate ending to the race. I was pretty bummed at seeing how it turned out there. Ryan Blaney with the race win in the bag. My pick and pod picks this week, I was feeling great. Last on the points, I was about to get 5 big ones. I was feeling pretty chopped up. And then you hear the radio transmission, I'm out of fuel. And you see that sideburn motherfucker, Austin Cindric, come rolling up and around Ryan Blaney as he falls to the final car, finishing on the lead lap. Wessel, talk me through it. How are you feeling?
I mean, it kind of goes with the luck he's had this year. It hasn't been the best of luck, especially these last 7 weeks. It's been really bad. Darlington got taken out by Byron and with that blue-eyed move. Last week, it's take out the 600 with
loose wheel,
like a loose wheel. Yeah. So I don't know, just pretty on brand for this year so far, I think.
Yeah. I mean, would this be considered one of the bigger championship hangovers in recent memory?
I don't know, because
I don't think it's his performance.
7 weeks. I think all the Ford in general has been really bad. Yeah. RFK's kind of been picking it up these last few weeks. Cindric did good this week, but he's going to go back to his average finish of 25th for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. It's tough because I don't think it's a championship hangover. We saw Joey Logano win a championship and then not make the playoffs next year. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I definitely think it's the biggest.
Yeah, and I don't think it's anything Blaney's. I think he's maximized what he's had this year. He's outrun his teammates by quite a bit. And somehow he's the only one that hasn't won anything this year in terms of either a points race or an exhibition, with Logano winning the All-Star race a few weeks back and Austin Cindric stealing the win yesterday at Gateway. Big moment for that 2 team, though, as a stat that I saw on Twitter heading into today or yesterday's race. Cindric's average finish on non-drafting tracks is 25.2.
Damn.
And now he's in the playoffs. So say what you want about that. But,
where was he at in points entering this week?
I can't say exact. I can tell you where he is now. But
I think now he's like
18th now.
He was
but I believe he might have been 20th heading in. 21st, around there.
Damn.
Yeah. Which that is only 2 to 4 spots out of the playoffs.
Far out. But that's also probably like almost 200 points out.
At
that point,
it's not that much.
I'd say at least 150.
The cut line as of right now, factoring in if you count Kyle Larson in or out, which I'm just going to count him in.
I don't know if we should be counting him in anymore.
We'll discuss that. It's insane. But Cindric would be about... Bubba would be the cut line at plus 13. And so Cindric would be about 66 points out right now.
Okay, so reasonable.
Without the win. So it would be challenging considering who's above him. That Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Chase Briscoe, Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, those guys kind of around the cut line right now. I think it would be a bit of an uphill battle, but big win for that team. You can't fault him, really. He was in a great spot all day. It's not like the top 10 cars ran out of fuel. He was running 11th and capitalized. He was running third, and he was very fortunate that Christopher Bell's engine went bad towards the end, and Ryan Blaney ran out of fuel coming to the white flag. You're a Blaney fan, as documented, Wessel. Who do you place the blame on here for this? Jonathan Hassler, I assume?
It's got to be Jonathan Hassler or whoever is running the numbers there. So what I think happened is that I don't think – so the way that they determine how much fuel is in the cars, because obviously they don't have fuel gauges, what they do is after a pit stop, they weigh the can, however much it weighs, subtract from how much it is full. That's how much gas they put in the car, right?
Yeah.
I don't think this screw up was on the last pit stop. I think it was probably on the pit stop before, because I think that they had probably crunched the numbers down to okay, we only need one full can here to make it all the way. So they did one full can.
Yeah.
But I think that they were already wrong. That's my assumption of what happened. Probably going to come down to Jonathan Hassler on that.
Yeah. It's just a mistake that can't be made. I mean, literally maybe a tenth or 2 seconds more of fuel.
Yeah.
It gives Ryan Blaney the win of that race. A tenth of a second more on pit road gives him the win, which is crazy to think about. I said yesterday, if anybody transitioned from a Dale Jr. to a Ryan Blaney fan, you felt a feeling that you don't deserve to feel twice now. With Charlotte in 2011, and then this one yesterday, just a heartbreaking one to see Blaney, and to add insult to injury, to finish 24th. When honestly,
I think the biggest insult to injury is Cindric winning.
Yeah.
For all people to be in second when that happens, it's fucking Cindric. The guy's been dragging Penske down for the last 2.5 years.
Yeah, I would say that
against Blaney to get his first win. Yeah. He lucked out on Blaney running out of gas to get his second win. What the fuck is this guy?
So here's an interesting element of things now. With that poor finish, Ryan Blaney falls to 12 points, which
he's
right
60
now
above the cut line.
He's only technically 47 above.
I'm not counting Larson because
I'm not either.
I don't think they're going to give him a waiver. At this point, it's been so long. I don't think they're doing it.
If you don't count Larson, then it goes to 44. It would be 47 without Larson, 44 with Larson. So I would be a little bit concerned because you have a couple guys under the playoff picture, like Joey Logano.
Especially for Blaney, because these last, with the next gen car, he has not been good during the summer months at all in the next gen car. And with that coming up, I think he can be in some really bad trouble here.
Yeah. You've got Joey Logano under the cut line who very easily can win. I know that it's a Penske car and they haven't been necessarily
Austin Cindric just win. Goddamn, Cody Ware could win at this point almost.
I wouldn't go that far.
He could stop beating his wife and drive a damn race car and spinning out every other damn lap.
He did cause the first 2 cautions of that race. But I got to say, Michael McDowell can go out and win a race here soon.
Yeah.
You've got a couple road courses left in the regular season. He can go get one. You have a wild card Chicago street course. We'll be at Daytona again. You're at a track like Darlington before we start the playoffs where Eric Jones could go out and win, So if I'm Ryan Blaney, I feel very comfortable with 2 laps to go in that race. And now, one day later, I feel quite uncomfortable about where I'm at because nobody will be surprised if, the guys on the cut line right now on either side are Bubba.
There's a lot of big names on the cut line.
Bubba and Buescher are the first 2 up on it right now. And the 3 below it are Briscoe, Logano, and Busch. I'm going to just exclude Briscoe from this. Sorry, Ryan.
No, we've been asked.
I would not be surprised if Bubba, Buescher, Busch, or Logano get a win. So I would actually lean towards Buescher being the most likely of that group.
Because that 8 team hasn't been good either.
No, they haven't.
They've been on a decline. I don't think they're making playoffs.
And we got to talk about Keselowski. He has had a heck of a run going lately.
4 out of the 6 that I saw during the race that he finished top 2.
And he finished 3rd yesterday. So Like
What
Brad
a-
Keselowski is probably the hottest driver in the series right now. I know you think that off the track, Ryan, but he is on a heater right now.
He is. He's definitely on a heater.
Yeah, he was third at Gateway, second at the 600, won Darlington, was 11th at Kansas, and didn't finish well before that. Was second at Talladega the week before that. Second at Texas the week before that too. So his last finishes are second, 30th, 11th, which we're going to discount that, but then first, second, third.
It's not bad. That's
That's
a great
it's
run.
not bad at all. That's a really good run. That's 3 runner-up finishes and a third in a 6 or 7 race span. So,
That team, RFK as a whole, is kind of getting going. I mean, if
you had Busher would have finished top 3 at least at Darlington.
if
and
Reddick didn't do that move,
was as close as anybody has ever been to winning without winning at Kansas. So,
talk about
they are a hot team right now. I'd argue that they're
the top 4 team right now.
most definitely, and I would put them right up there right now with Hendrick and Joe Gibbs with how they've been running.
Yeah.
Especially Brad. He's Busher, of course, could go either way depending on this Larson decision that we're still waiting on.
I expect Busher to at least get 1 win before the playoffs.
Yeah, and we're coming to tracks that he's won at before. Last year, he won, Richmond, Michigan, back to back.
Kind of had a Harvick-ish type
second
season.
at Sonoma last year. So I don't see that necessarily, but I mean, Chris Buescher could go out and win one of these races, and I don't think anybody would be surprised about it. Let's talk about the race. I thought it was a good race just because you had varying strategies and you had that fun battle with Blaney and Bell until it wasn't, and until Bell had his engine issue. The only thing I was frustrated about, because I thought you could pass, sort of. If you had a faster car, you could pass, but there was not enough tire fall off in that race whatsoever.
It was like half a second, I think, was all it was, if that much.
And that lended to the varying strategies that you saw, which made it interesting. But I think varying strategies would have been a little more interesting if you saw a little more give with the tires as the runs went on. So, thoughts on the race generally, guys. What did you guys think? I actually didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't the best. That track, I take it or leave it. I don't care about it.
For me, it's take it or leave it. Honestly, I don't really care for the race. I mean, I thought it wasn't the greatest race. I thought it was boring to me. I could have taken a Moose Fest for a minute and come back and be like, "Oh, Christopher Bell won, cool." That race, to me, was extremely boring. That track can go for all I care.
Christopher Bell didn't win.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, but if let's say his engine doesn't go, I think he would have passed Blaney and would have won that race.
Blaney was doing a pretty good job holding them off.
He was doing a good job defending him, but with that much time left, I think Bell would have eventually got him.
But you had Blaney running that really high lane, and you were wondering if Bell would clear him off of 4 at one point, and then Fox just decided to show a 2-shot of the same child in the stands.
Talk about how bad they've been this year broadcasting.
That was one of the worst NASCAR on Fox races.
NBC, can't wait for you.
One more week.
Thank God.
We have Sonoma left, which I like Sonoma. I think the repave will take an interesting element out of it, but it's a fun track. I always like going out there, and they talk about wine and stuff, and Mike Joy gets all sappy and sentimental that Fox is leaving the series for the rest of the year, but the NASCAR community will rejoice.
Oh yeah,
We'll be very happy that they're going to be gone. Wessel, Sal, thoughts on the race?
It was good, I guess. I like you guys touched up on. I mean, I enjoyed that there were different strategies that kind of threw not a curveball, but kind of just unknown in there. See what exactly could happen. Because I mean, see names that you don't normally see in the top 10. I know Carson Hocevar got 8th. I think there were a couple others below him. I know Zane Smith at one point was flirting top 15 for a while, which is, I mean, good for him. They needed a good run.
Definitely.
But yeah, either figure out the tire or leave the track because it's not good. The best thing there is the goddamn pyro that they have on the pace laps, and that's it.
And Fox missed it.
They missed it last year too, apparently.
Shocker.
There's 2 years in a row that they've missed it.
They were talking about it too, which I don't understand.
In pre-race, that's all. Oh, hey, Michael McDowell, be careful with that pyro. It's going to scare you.
It just was one of the more infuriating Fox broadcasts to watch. There were times where I just threw up my hands and I was like, what are we doing here?
Didn't you say you threw your phone?
I threw my phone on the ground when they showed that dumb little fucking kid. Like, I went, like, this is
No one cares.
I don't want to see this little fucker. There's a time and a place, and then they show a fucking 2-minute long. Okay,
Kevin Harvick.
We got about 50 laps to go. They show a really extended clip of Harvick's podcast, which we didn't need to see. It's a good show. You have stage breaks. You have pre-race. Show it then. You have a fucking 2.5-minute recap of the race.
Yeah, that was
12 to go. There's stuff going on. Like, the race is playing out right now. We don't need to see a recap. You can show the recap after the race. You know? No, we don't live in the fucking Stone Age anymore, Fox. People have phones. They can see what happened. The NASCAR app, it's a really cool thing. It gives you all the information that went on during the race. You can look at highlights during the race on there. We don't live in the Stone Age where we need to see a recap, you know? We don't need to wait. It's not like you're waiting for the radio every 40 minutes to find out school is closed because of snow anymore. You can look on your phone now. I mean, it's 24. God, it annoys me. Wessel, what do you think of the race?
I didn't think the race was all that good. I would have said this even if Blaney won. The tire fall off was so bad. If you go on Twitter, look at Trey Ryan on Twitter. Give him a follow. He gives out really good stats.
Good stuff, yeah.
Usually every week he'll post like median lap data for like the last 50 laps or the full race. And with all the different strategies that were going on from the top 15 drivers, he posted the median lap data for the top 50 and where all the drivers would have been. They were all bunched up. Everybody is the fucking same. You cannot pass. And they're all on different sets of tires. Like different strategies with different wear. This cannot happen. Like, we need variance in this sport. There needs to be more parity. By them trying to reach parity, they have made it to where, like, you just can't. I mean, there is parity where, like, you know, Cindric won, woohoo. But you can't fucking pass. The only person who could pass the whole race was Christopher Bell.
Yeah. No, it kind of was very reminiscent of Phoenix. It was
I think what's going to happen is that I think a lot of people are going to start, if they're going to keep Phoenix as a championship race, which it already has a second event. I think Gateway is probably the most similar track to Phoenix as far as like flat tracks with turns and stuff. And as we saw, you know, Christopher Bell was really good at Phoenix earlier in this year. I mean, he's really good
at New Hampshire.
Really good at New Hampshire. I think Christopher Bell has just really figured out these flat tracks these last couple of years. And I think that by default makes him like a pretty good championship favorite if he can make it in there.
Which he's done the last 2 years. I agree with that. I just think every driver and team step up their game for that Phoenix race.
Yeah.
It kind of becomes hard to predict at that point. You just have to pick it on who you think has the momentum. You know, Kyle Larson in 2021, or I'll go back to the entire.
He had the momentum all season, though.
Yeah, that was
Chase Elliott in 2020 had the momentum going in. You know, he had won the Roval to make the 8 round, and then he won Martinsville to make it into the 4. Larson won 5 races in the playoffs 2021. He obviously had momentum. Joey Logano had momentum through that Vegas win with the extra time to prepare. Ryan Blaney was was clearly one of the best cars in the last 5-6 races in the playoffs last year. And you could see that momentum with how well he ran at Martinsville to get that big win to make it in. And it's really tough to handicap who we think is going to be the champion until I'd say after Martinsville, you can kind of get an idea, but you still don't know. It's one race. It's a one-race championship. Anything can happen. But it's tough to say. That's enough about that. Well, how much time do we have before Wessel?
3 minutes, but I can hop out of here for a little bit and then come back in.
Okay. Larson, Waiver. What do you think? You've been saying this whole time you don't think he's getting it. So
I don't think he is. They've drawn this out for too long. I saw a post on Twitter that I think I sent to y'all, and it's something that I didn't really think about until I saw that. But Hendrick and Larson, the entire week leading up to the Indy 500 and the Coke 600, said that they were going to prioritize the Coke 600.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? The time comes and he didn't. He prioritized the Indy 500. And I think NASCAR is really pissed about that. I really do. I think they feel like they've been betrayed here. I don't know. Indy 500 ratings were up from last year through a rain delay. The Coke 600 ratings were down.
It did help that Indianapolis, the city, was not blacked out of coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
true.
Popped the highest
This was
rating
the first
of
year
any.
for that, right?
First in a while, at least. Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm. But it's I don't know. I think that they are pissed off about this, and I don't know why. I think they're just really upset about it. I don't know.
And I think if it's going this long, somebody very high up is very annoyed, and I would bet it could be Jim France.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think it could go right to the top on this one.
We know how NASCAR is. I mean, they did this with Tony Stewart a couple years ago. They want the number one motorsport in America to be NASCAR, and for the most part, the number one motorsport in North America is NASCAR. But if a driver is choosing another motorsport over NASCAR, they're going to be really upset about that.
Yeah. No, I think so. But I think if you don't give Larson the waiver, who does this anger? Of course, you anger Kyle Larson. You anger Hendrick Motorsports. I would argue you even anger Roger Penske.
Yeah.
Because he owns IndyCar. He owns the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He owns the Indy 500. And he owns a team in NASCAR. And that's basically NASCAR playing petty games with the series of IndyCar, trying to discredit it and make it ruin somebody's playoff chances.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I feel like they do. I think Kyle Larson's going to take on a part-time schedule the rest of the season.
He said he's going to run it out, and he'll get paid on the Owners' Championship regardless, which the 5 car is in.
I do like that Larson came out and said in that interview, he was like, well, where we make all our money is the Owners' Championship, so I'm going to go out there and win that one.
Yeah. I think...
I hop out for a little bit, but I'll try to come back in.
Yep. See you in a bit, Wessel. I think it would be a really, really bad look.
Attention, all departments. Receiving
is now
open for recycling. Receiving is now open for recycling.
Let's go.
Yeah, baby. This is recycling music right here.
Oh, my Lord.
pause forever. That goes kind of hard. This is groovy. I love it. It is pretty fucking groovy. I gotta give it to you, Spencer. That's a good comment. It was quite groovy. I was having a great time right there. My proposal on Kyle Larson's waiver is that he should. Okay, I think that the precedent you've set already, he should have received one because it's so gray. And if you don't give him the one, then it just makes NASCAR look bad. I think that you should say your 2 wins. He has 2, right?
2, I think, yeah.
Kansas and Vegas, I think, right?
Yeah.
NASCAR should say, all right, your 2 wins. They still are wins, but they don't automatically qualify you for the playoffs. Your 17 playoff points you've built up are gone. You didn't show up to a race. Kyle Larson is still second in points. That's a guy that deserves to be in the playoffs. I don't care. So I say wipe out the automatic qualifying, like the win being the automatic qualifier. Wipe out the playoff points he's earned thus far, all 17 of them, and just say, all right, if you can qualify on points, go ahead. But your wins, you have to win again for it to be your automatic admission to the playoffs. That is what I think would be fair, and I think would be the best solution to the waiver issue. Is if somebody like if Chase Elliott won Fontana before he got hurt last year, and then he misses the 6 races, then maybe don't count that win for him to make the playoffs and make him re-earn it because you were not there. And that I think would incentivize drivers to show up every week. I would assume.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't completely take somebody out for a suspension or for an injury or for what happened with Kyle Larson, which were unfortunate circumstances. He had every intention to run both races, and he was literally in the pit box at Charlotte when it started raining. He was about to be in the car, So I think that would be the best solution. I don't know what you guys think. So, hey, are you back?
Can I just chime something real quick? I saw a theory.
Oh, a theory
on Twitter that.
Okay, well, I'll be back. Give me like 2 minutes. Kick me out for a minute.
Kick you out?
And just put me in the back room or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
They were so mad about Kyle Larson not starting the Coke 600 that they pulled the jet dryers off the track so that he couldn't get in the car. I don't think that's true.
That is so fucking petty and so tone deaf to your fan base.
NASCAR's pretty fucking petty. I think we're like not going back enough and looking how NASCAR is pretty goddamn petty.
That's a great point.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude! If we flew, and that was the fucking reason why.
They pulled the Titans off the track because they didn't want Larson to get in the car, and now they're not going to give him a waiver. Let that sink in.
I'd be pretty bummed out.
I'll be back.
Okay, bye, Wessel. It's just us now.
It is.
This doesn't look too bad.
No.
This looks pretty sporty. Your thoughts on it?
I agree with you. That's kind of your whole scenario that you just played out. I agree with that, and that's what I was kind of trying to get at a couple nights ago. Whenever we went at it for like an hour discussing on, discussing that, and I mean I think that's the best way possible. I mean, it's like I was saying whenever I was explaining it to Sam before we went live. I think they should give it to him because the rule isn't clear technically to why they could decline you.
Yeah.
And I think they give it to him, and then I think they go back and rewrite how exactly a waiver can be granted. I just, with everything coming out and the whole thing about the jet dryer is now with what Wessel said, I'm like, I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, these fans, a lot of them are going to go back, no matter how much. I mean, we see people all the time after something happens
Yeah.
on Twitter go and be like, "Oh, I'm never watching NASCAR again." Then are tuning in. Oh man, I'm excited for Sonoma this week.
Yeah.
Fans will come back no matter how angry they are. And while it's not something I would personally agree with, if they don't give Larson the waiver, I still be watching. I'd still be. I think it'd be hilarious if he went out and won. Let's say they announce it this week, and he goes out and wins Sonoma this week.
Yeah.
um,
I think it would be such a bad look if he goes out and wins the honors championship and was
yeah.
denied. I think that would make this championship, which is already under enough scrutiny by the fan base, by the drivers, by just the industry in general. The championship format is criticized, right? I think we can both agree on that.
Yes.
Say what you want about it. I don't hate it. I'm a traditionalist though. So I'm not going to give an answer that's probably going to be the most exciting. I would appreciate a 36 race championship. I also kind of appreciated a 10 race chase where it's just like, all right, you're reseeded by making it here. Go get it over 10 races.
Yeah.
I understand NASCAR wants to create a Game 7 moment, and they want that for television. But the NBA does not have every series going to Game 7. You know? Yeah, that'd be nice. I hope so. I guess that's cool. You know, the NHL, like the Celtics just fucking swept the Pacers in the conference finals. There was no Game 7 moment there. The games were close, but Boston won every one of them. So there was not much like drama late in that series. You're not like, oh, it's a 5-point game with 2 minutes left, 3-3 series. It doesn't happen like that all the time.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't really know what I don't think a one race championship is the solution. I don't hate having elimination rounds, I guess, but I think the championship round should be 3 races like the other rounds are.
Yeah.
And that would take a lot of pressure off Phoenix, I think. You know?
I agree with that.
Because I think if you do that, you can build more drama.
Yeah.
You
have
like,
2 storylines coming into the actual finale of stuff to build up, not just this is Carl Larson from who knows where, Indiana, California,
Elk Grove, California.
Yeah. So, I mean,
here's Chase Elliott from Dawsonville, Georgia. He's popular. He's popular. Here's Rutledge Wood with a bunch of rednecks and a car battery. Man, it's just. I think that if Larson doesn't get the waiver, I think you'd have a large segment of the fan base very frustrated because Larson is a popular driver. I'd say he's the second most popular driver in the series right now. You'd have all of his fans mad. And you'd probably have, like, I have not shied away from being critical of Kyle Larson on this show. I think
that's fair.
We both haven't. I would be very, very frustrated with this decision if they don't, you know. I think my solution is fair, and NASCAR got their feelings hurt from this whole deal, and so they want to punish him and Hendrick. Go ahead. The guy is still second in points and very, very easily could be the regular season champion. How much of a sham would it be if you don't let the guy that, let's say Kyle Larson passes Denny Hamlin back for the points lead and wins the regular season championship, right?
Yeah.
It would be a complete and utter sham if the point leader going into the playoffs doesn't make it in, because he missed a race and was still the point leader.
Yeah.
That's just crazy if that is possible. And I think knowing Kyle Larson and knowing what motivates that guy, that could very easily happen if they say no waiver to him.
Mm-hmm.
So
he'd go on a tear and win the next 10 races.
I think it would be an awful, awful look for the series.
NASCAR can't. They can't. Like they probably want to really bad, and that's probably why it's taking so long, because they're trying to find like the exact format they would word it, maybe. I don't know. But no matter which way they try to look at this, they cannot go and have probably one of the best drivers right now in the series not fight for the championship.
If not the best.
Yeah.
And the part that frustrates me the most, I understand if he was fucking 30th in points and you don't want to give him a waiver, okay. The guy is literally second in points. Like, he's miles ahead of the theoretical cut line right now. That should be enough to qualify. If a guy misses a race and makes it on points, then I think he shouldn't be discounted from the playoffs.
Yeah. Then it just sets them up for a more shitty way. Let's say we get a news this week. It sets them up for more headaches come Daytona cutoff race. It happens. Larson's your regular season championship. What comes with that? 15 playoff points?
Yeah, so do you give it to the guy in second?
Yeah. So then the regular season champion, if they haven't won, also gets the automatic bid to the playoffs. So then what do you do there?
That's really tough. Like, do they let him back into the playoffs after not giving him a waiver? I don't understand where we go from there.
Which, I mean, like you said, he's what, like 20 points behind
21
Denny?
points out, yeah.
Kyle Larson could very easily make that up this week alone.
Yeah, it's Sonoma, which is his best road course, I'd argue. And Denny Hamlin, while he did start on pole there last year, is not an exceptional road racer.
Yeah. So then you're you denying Kyle Larson a waiver. You are setting up for a bigger headache come Daytona. And Lord knows how, if they take this long, we might not know who the regular season champion is until Phoenix. So
we might not know if Larson's in the playoffs until Phoenix. Why don't we just add Jeff Gordon into the playoffs? Right? Denny Hamlin had an interesting quote. He linked the Kyle Larson waiver debacle with the Stewart-Haas closure in a way. And said NASCAR believes the show goes on no matter who is in the sport and who isn't. And Denny was basically using that as a point to say, I don't think that's as true as it used to be. I agree. I think SHR is a big loss. But I also think that I think SHR kind of evens out. If this was 2019 or 2018 SHR, that'd be a huge loss.
Yeah.
But with this, I don't think another Trackhouse car hurts. I don't think another 2311 car hurts. I don't think an expanded, more funded front row hurts either. I think you kind of spread the wealth out, because SHR, as respectfully as possible, is a mid-pack team right now. So losing that, I understand it's 4 cars, but those guys, maybe other than Ryan Preece, your guy, will find a ride in the Cup Series, I assume.
Yeah, easily.
Barry is kind of a question mark. I think he deserves one, but does he have the sponsorship that he needs to get one? What would make sense to me would maybe be him going to the front row team and taking the 34 car with the Loves deal.
Yeah.
So because that seemed like a pretty funded car already. So, yeah. Bob put out an article actually today about the whole silly season situation, which had a really interesting nugget in there that I thought
A
was
Bob Nugget?
a little Bob nugget about the 19 car.
Mm.
Yeah, it was yeah. Hey, here's Noah Gregson. He's one of the free agents.
Probably off the board already.
Maybe, maybe not. So closing the USHR puts 4 Cup drivers on the free agent market. When the season started, it seemed like only Ryan Preece was in a year where he was under the microscope. Here's an interesting one. Joe Gibbs Racing is awaiting word on Martin Truex Jr. and whether he'll return to 2025. With no clear replacement, if he retires, JGR would likely want a decision soon. If Truex decides to retire, Briscoe, the top SHR driver at 15th in the Cup standings, could be a possible candidate. If JGR wants to stay in the current Toyota stable, it could try to make a run at Legacy Motor Club driver Eric Jones, who has previously driven for JGR. With his Ford ties, Briscoe is also likely a candidate for the ride at Wood Brothers Racing, where Harrison Burton is struggling for a 3rd consecutive year. The 21 was always kind of the rumor about Briscoe.
Yeah.
But the 19 would be...
That'd be interesting.
And then they mentioned below, Noah Gregson, who has some sponsorship from Brass Pro, also couldn't be counted out for the ride. I am not a NASCAR insider. I think you know that, Sal. But I would lean Gregson over Briscoe for that ride.
Yeah, I'd want to know on what terms Gregson left KBM
Toyota
during his
Or,
truck series stint. To know if what kind of truth maybe, because I mean it's always easy to link drivers with former manufacturers that they've driven for. Kind of that what's it called? That relationship is always there. But Eric Jones, I don't think would want to
go back to JGR.
JGR, yeah.
But I feel like that'd be a hard opportunity to turn down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they come up to you, hey, will you drive for us?
Will you drive the 19 car with that championship team that came from Front Row or Furniture Row and it's still the same other than, James Small just got inserted as the crew chief.
Yeah.
I think Noah would make the most sense for that for me, considering the Bass Pro. I could also see somebody like Corey Heim, but it seems maybe like Corey Heim is more linked to that 2311 spot. The other 2 SHR drivers might have a little more difficult time staying in Cup. Barry is 20th in the standings and blah, blah, blah. Priest is 29th. Both of those drivers have some companies that can follow them where they go, whether that be any of the 3 national series. Barry would be seen as potentially having more upside considering he is in his rookie year while Priest is in his 5th Cup season. Front row has 2 openings. Both of SHR's Xfinity drivers, Cole Custer and Riley Herbst, are candidates for those rides. Both could potentially bring their sponsors with them. Custer with Haas and Herbst with Monster Energy. 2311 is expected to obtain one of the charters, and Corey Heim is a candidate for that car, and so is Riley Herbst. This one is kind of an interesting nugget and kind of tells me what Trackhouse is going to do. They're expected to obtain one of the charters. Chastain and Suarez seem pretty locked for next year. SVG could be elevated to full-time Cup next season. Zane Smith, who was on loan to Spire this year with a move initially planned to Trackhouse car for next year, is 34th in the standings. If NASCAR limits organizations to 3 charters, he could be the odd man out. That wasn't included previously. Welcome back, Ryan.
Hello.
That wasn't included previously when discussing the Trackhouse part of everything. But now you kind of have it in a spot where it seems like SVG is the priority, which I think he should be.
Oh, yeah.
Because Zane has not proven to me anything. And at the least, SVG has proven that he could win you a race to make the playoffs at a road course.
Right.
Very easily. So I think SVG is 100% the move if Trackhouse gets a third charter. I like SVG, though, so I have biased. Where does the fourth SHR charter go? That is unclear. It's no secret that RCR would like to get back to a 3-car operation, but whether it can accomplish that goal for 2025 remains to be seen. The other teams that could have openings would be Collier and Rick Ware, both of whom have a car that is using multiple drivers this year. Xfinity drivers who could be candidates for Cup rides would be Austin Hill, likely only at RCR, Chandler Smith, and Sam Mayer.
Mayer's an interesting name.
Truck Series points leader Christian Eckes, along with Heim, are the two names from that series most mentioned for possible Cup rides. I think Eckes deserves one. He's been
Eckes has been pretty strong in the trucks, yeah.
I think he definitely deserves one. All right, guys, hit me with some general takeaways from that article. What do you guys think?
I think Trackhouse is set for a couple of years.
Yeah.
It's going to be Ross, Suarez, and SVG for at least 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
It sucks for Zane Smith because, I mean, I'm sure he probably had the opportunity to stay at front row. And obviously, with an up-and-coming team like Trackhouse, you want to take
that move.
Yeah. It also kind of plays into the whole Trackhouse has a lot of drivers and nowhere to stick them. So,
yeah.
And if NASCAR does limit to 3 charters, I think Zane Smith is 100% the odd man out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think you uproot SVG's life just to stick him in a Colleague Cup car next year.
Yeah.
And SVG literally won his first race for Trackhouse. That guy, and he's going winning at a road course he's never raced at in a car that's not similar to the V8 supercar in the Xfinity Series. The guy can drive, and he's performed, I think, pretty well. Colleagues had a down year in Xfinity, and it's him literally learning a totally new type of racing. I think he's done a solid job for sure.
He's talented.
Yeah, he's definitely done a great job down in the Xfinity Series. I mean, he started really becoming a fan favorite after he moved Austin Hill, hit Coda, something that he was definitely not used to with any sort of bump racing. Yeah. So now he did that, but
bump racing.
You could tell because he messed up his own car in the process of trying to bump it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who cares?
I don't do this, Mike.
He fucked Austin Hill. Who cares?
That makes me happy. I don't like Austin Hill.
No, none of us do. But I don't think you give Zane Smith that ride. He bet on himself and it ended up biting him, really. Where SVG has been at least solid in the Xfinity Series, to say the least. And then the Cup car, he's got in his first race in the Cup Series that he ever ran, he won. So
yeah.
So I just think Trackhouse, like Sal said, is pretty set. SVG, Suarez, and then Chastain. And then it's just go from there. Because we'll see where the other charters go. Because I don't think RCR can do a 3-car operation with how bad they performed this year.
I don't think that. I mean, they work pretty closely with College, so I don't think they would have a problem getting a 3rd car going.
I got some shit on it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Which then reminded me why I don't tweet or respond to things as much. But we don't know what exactly Austin Hill's contract is. It wasn't even a multi-year Xfinity deal. It was just a flat out multi-year RCR deal.
Yeah.
And I don't think Austin Hill would have signed a deal with a team that we'll put you in Cup whenever something opens up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this seems like a next year you're in Cup.
Yeah, I mean, he's not getting any younger. He's not getting any more likable. So I just stick him in Cup so we can boo him Sundays.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
I mean, we literally, all 3 of us flipped him off coming down the front stretch.
I hit the first one, though.
You hit the first one, then me and Sal followed.
Mine went kind of crazy.
Iconic one.
Yeah, I hit the moving along with him.
Because, well, one, you thought it screwed over Chase.
Well, it very well could have. That fat son of a bitch. I wasn't going to let him take the win from Clyde because of his little petty games he was playing on the goddamn
bullshit on the flat tire that he called for.
He's an asshole. Anything else we didn't cover on that? We got to do pod picks and whatnot, and cover our league situation.
I did
going
miss the
on,
waiver
but
talk, which sucks.
give me your opinion.
I think Larson should get the waiver. I mean, you're really going to piss off Hendrick and Penske at the same time. And I don't think you want to do that because those are some of your top teams. And Larson's also your top driver in NASCAR. So why piss off two top team owners and your best driver plus the fan base itself? He may have chosen IndyCar, but they had thrown so much money into that I think Larson wanted to commit fully to it, and it sucks that the weather wasn't in his favor. I mean, the same weather system just came through North Carolina when he got down. So I think really he should get the waiver just because of how great the rules are.
Yeah. I'm gonna try something real quick.
Mike
This
Trump.
isn't good. And I mean, think about it as a fan perspective too. If you had the opportunity, someone comes up to you with 2 tickets. Do you want to go to the Indy 500 or the Coke 600? I've been a NASCAR fan all my life, but
I'd go to the Indy 500
opportunity to
pretty.
do the Indy
Yeah,
500.
I would. It'd be tight for me, I guess. I don't know.
I do the Indy 500
I'd
easily.
probably do the Indy 500 too because I've been to Charlotte twice now.
That's true. Yeah, I guess we could say
Yeah.
that easily, huh?
Because we've
Yeah,
been
like
to
if I
Charlotte.
hadn't been to Charlotte, it's a tougher. Like I went there in 15 and this year, of course. So, yeah, I'd probably pick the Indy 500 just to get another big racing event off the bucket list.
That's a lot of money to go to, though. The Indy 500 is ridiculous. I would go, though. Okay. All right.
Ryan would go to the Indy 500.
Kind of what I'm not doing. Going whenever there's gonna be rain and asking Ryan, "What do you think about this cloud over
Yeah,
here?"
don't ask that question. Let's not ask that question.
So yeah, that article was kind of interesting. I think SHR definitely. I mean, JGR probably would like to know if Truex is done or not. Like now, I think that was basically saying, like, please tell us if you're going to.
Because we need to find a
We need to
replacement.
make plans, because guys might be off the table if you don't let us know.
Yeah. You can't wait till June like you did last year.
He waited till June in 2022 and August last year.
Yeah, you can't wait that long because drivers are going to be poached pretty
Especially
quickly.
if this charter deal gets signed between now and August.
He needs to know now.
It's time for pod picks.
Wayo.
I am heartbroken about.
Mike has had a rough 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Look at the goddamn standing. Look at it.
You're not even in the double digits. God damn.
I would have been.
That was me last year. I'm glad you know how it feels now.
Wait, no, is Wessel in the double digits? No, he's not.
No, not yet. But I mean, I had a win in my fucking back pocket. Congratulations.
Who's in the lead right now?
It says the points are on the left side. Tegan is in the lead
with 18.
Yeah, fireworks.
Maddie gets second with Joey Logano.
Christ.
And Justin Haley. Good for him.
That's insane.
Shout out Justin Haley, man.
Shout out to Justin Haley in that car.
Wheeling that thing.
You would never think a Rick Ware car would actually be somewhat decent. Haley's been driving that car extremely well.
All right. Let's see here. Let me get my messages app. Try to see who people are going to pick. So who goes first? I'm going to have to reset the thing down here.
I'm assuming Priest. All right, no, who had Bush?
Probably Kyle Busch, Wessel.
Yeah.
I've got to reset down here since we've moved to the second level. Christ. It's a terrible season for pod picks for me. Just absolutely terrible. Why does Bradley fucking watch the podcast and see who you picked? So Wessel is picking first, I believe, with Kyle Busch. Let me text him. Who's your pick? It is Sonoma, so we've got a nice little fun road course. Little road racing at Sonoma.
Road racing.
I'm pretty jocked up for a little road racing. Second pick would be
Whoever did Priest.
which is Tegan. Wessel asks, do I have Busher? He's right here. So he does have Busher.
It's a good race for him, too.
I'm going to assume he's going to pick Chris Busher if he asked me that. So I'm going to write that down. Wessel's taking Chris Busher.
Okay.
Not a bad pick by any means.
He was solid there last year, wasn't he?
Second.
Finished second.
Okay,
Yeah.
so more than solid.
Yeah. Ryan Priest will be the next pick. That's Tegan. He's going to pick Cam Waters.
Wayo. That's a throwaway.
That's a
Cam
swing
Waters
if I've ever seen one.
driving the 60 car this week for RFK. Next up, I think, is me. And I'm going to go kind of in the same direction he's going to go with. I'm going to pick yeah, it is me. I'm going to pick Will Brown. Will Brown. Oh, right, Brown. Will Brown driving the 33 car for RCR.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, it was going to be Brody Kostecki. Somebody's shouting. Next pick is actually JB. Has he texted me? No. Kev Ryan, you're the representative this week. So you pick.
Daniel Suarez.
Daniel Suarez, Daniel's amigos are going to be out in full force at Sonoma. That'll be fun.
He could win.
He could win. He's done it before. This is a real heavy hitter week.
Totally.
Bradley asks, do I have McDowell? Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to take it. He's going to pick him.
Watch him say, do I have McDowell? Then he says, I want this person.
I'm going to write that down just for now. I'm going to text Matt for his pick, but I'm just going to let you pick here, Sally. Who do you want, Mr. Zavala?
Kaz Gralla.
This is the worst week we've ever had. Like, this is genuinely like a fucking pitiful pod pick week.
Oh, there were some heavy hitters the past few weeks. May as well make it shitty.
Why'd you text me?
Because you texted me.
Oh, I meant to text Matt. Shit, I'm sorry. That was stupid. So we're waiting on. Oh, why'd I write? Oh, what am I doing? I wrote it under Matt. Having a fucking major malfunction right now. Okay, so that's the picks. We're waiting on JB and Matt, of course. JB put Reddick ? And he can have him. So Tyler Reddick off the board.
Congratulations, JB, on your win this week.
JB has one Sonoma. I actually would maybe lean Bradley this week with McDowell. Or I really think Will Brown is going to shock the world. I think
Imagine this. Imagine this Cam Waters, Will Brown 1-2 finish.
That Will Brown won, Cam Waters too, of course. But I think Will Brown could do his thing here.
Pull an SVG.
Do you want to look up Will Brown, see what he's about?
Yeah.
I know a guy named Will Brown. He coached a kid that I played basketball at my school and coached UAlbany for a little bit. Anyway, let's look up Will Brown here.
Will Brown.
All right. He's a 25-year-old Australian racing driver. What the hell? I'm going to take it. This is Will Brown right here.
He kind of looks like a dog, Jim.
That looks like a fucking winner right there. Let's look him. Let's see what he's got. First. All right. How about that first? Oh, Will Brown's looking to bounce back after topsy-turvy 2023 campaign. He's 171 centimeters. His nickname's Swill Brown. What is he like doing outside of racing? Flying aircrafts. He's got a web page.
Dog.
Look at the stats. Is this
I don't know if
this year?
I don't know if it's doing this for Ryan too, but I'm still like on the.
I'm stuck on that picture of Will Brown.
Yeah.
Are you? Oh, right. I'm not sharing that. Okay. I'm not functioning on a high level today. Here we are.
There we go.
There we
Poor
go.
baby.
He's first. Yeah. Yeah. He's got 3 wins this year, 9 podiums in 10 races.
And a pole.
Jeez. Look at this guy.
Might be a dog.
10 races, 9 podiums, 3 wins, 5 second place. Wow.
We might have another SVG on our hands, boys.
I'm scared here.
I'm pretty jocked up about Will Brown. Where's
Mike
Cam?
might have hit.
And Cam Waters, look at this bum. Look at him. What's he? How many podiums has he got? 2. Womp womp. Here's
Got
the
more
guy.
poles though.
Skill issue, TBH.
What is supercars? Ooh, globally, this recognizes the biggest touring car category in the world and a leader in motorsports entertainment. We got the calendar. Is Will Brown on there? Oh, this is like a. I thought it was going to be like one
You're
of
an
those
idiot.
calendars.
Would you want like a fireman's calendar?
Yeah, like I get the Yankee calendar for the kitchen every year. I thought it was gonna be one of those, and we could see like Will Brown on the month of July or something. This guy's kind of a dog. What else about? Let's go back.
Can you look up the points for this last year?
The 2023 points. Yeah, I should. Yeah, I can.
Watch. Oh no.
Brody Kostecki, who made an appearance. Yeah, Will Brown. Good
Oh,
job.
an
Seth.
SVG. SVG.
Shane Van Gisbergen, come on, baby. Oh shit, that's his number. That was his number there too.
Yeah, that's why he's 97.
That's so nice.
we
I like
got-
numbers with the backstory.
Will Brown.
Will Brown is number 09. I don't know what he is this year, but
For Coca-Cola
Listen.
Racing.
he's number 87. That's a fucking sporty little number right
Wait,
there.
did he take SVGs right?
He might have.
Yeah,
Let's,
because for 2023 he was for Coca-Cola Racing, and now
Racing.
he's for the Red Bull.
Red Bull's got supremacy everywhere.
He's got a Wikipedia page, so we're gonna get there right now. Here he is. He's done a great job this year. There's nothing after 2021.
On May 15, 2024, it was announced that Brown will make his NASCAR Cup Series debut at Sonoma Raceway.
Great pick for RC.
Look at that right there.
Great
What is
pick for
going on
RC
there?
right there.
He's a fucking idiot.
What do we want to get here? The Sea Land Service.
Is Mike doing the Wikipedia challenge? He's going from like one thing to the other.
Ooh, give me a Wikipedia challenge, please. Okay. Challenge me to get to one random NASCAR driver to another. Sal or Ryan, you pick who we start with. Sal, you pick who we finish with.
Harry Gant.
Okay. Sal, who are we going to finish with?
Chad Fincham.
Good heavens. Okay. All right, let's figure this out. Okay. Who would be a good connection to get Chad Fincham? I'm going to go to the Southern 500. Chad Fincham was around the Cup Series in 2020.
Was he really? Shit.
Kyle Larson used a racial slur.
Oh, snap.
Oh, Starcom Racing was still alive. Holy shit.
Where is he? Chad Fincham, where are you, big dog? Where is he? Oh, he's not a chartered team. Well, where is he? Chad Fincham, give me that. Give me that.
That was kind of wild.
Give me that. Give me Chad Fincham. Give me that. How about that? That wasn't too bad, was it? That was a good little move by me right there to end up on Chad Fincham.
Nice job, Woody.
Anyways, that's the end of this program. I kind of want to listen to this song again. We are getting out of here. It was fun, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Let's hit the real get out of here music. This is relaxing. It takes us home. Ryan, takes us to the end of the podcast. Say goodbye to the folks. That was the lamest fucking shit ever. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week. Let the music take us home.